You know what? I paid for this buffet, so I should totally go all out and eat as much as possible. Classic permission giving thought, right? Yesterday we were chatting about those tricky little things called permission giving thoughts. They're those thoughts that sneak into your head, making it seem perfectly logical to give into a habit or behavior you know you have already decided not to do. They're like master disguisers, making you believe they're totally rational even when they're not. Now, just so we're clear, I am not here to guilt trip you or make you feel ashamed. No way. In fact, these thoughts are totally normal and they come from our primitive brain, or what is sometimes called the downstairs brain. It's that part of your head that's all about chasing pleasure, dodging discomfort and pain, and saving energy. And guess what? It doesn't always work within your conscious control. By the way, my name is Becks, and I am a healthy habit hacks coach. What does that even mean? I help driven, motivated women that are fed up with diet culture fill out the noise and take charge of and customize their eating habits for life. By combining the science of behavior change with evidence-based nutrition, my Healthy Hacks program empowers you to go from feeling overwhelmed to taking action one eating habit at a time. When people, especially women, talk about their relationship with food and their bodies, they often use the word struggle. You know, like, I'm struggling to shed these pounds, or I'm struggling to force down the stuff I know I should eat. But let's pause for a second. What's a real struggle here? Are you struggling with your body, or with food, or with outside forces that influence your decisions? I used to think of this struggle as a full-on battle. But here's the deal. Battles have clear sides, with a good guy, a bad guy, a hero, and a villain. So by that logic, food would either be good or bad, your body would be a saint or a sinner, and everything influencing your behavior would fall into one camp or the other. You see where I'm going with this, right? This is basically the blame game, and we all know that's not a great way to handle things. So where's the real struggle? It's happening right up here in your head. At the end of the day, you're in charge. And the sooner you take the reins and deal with it, the sooner you'll become the person you want to be. You see, science tells us that different parts of our brains handle different things. In simple terms, you've got an upstairs brain and a downstairs brain. The upstairs one is constantly bombarded with information, which can leave you feeling overwhelmed. And it has the ability to sift through what it believes and what it doesn't. So, by the way, this is why I have some beef, let's say, with diet culture. It often pushes the idea that there's this one best way to do things, one size fits all. But here's my take. I believe you actually know what's best for you. Emphasis on best, i.e., what keeps your mind and body healthy. Now, I've got a nutrition background, so I can give you some evidence-based best practices. But you won't catch me handing you a diet plan and saying, here's what you must eat. Nope. I offer a framework that helps you figure things out for yourself in a methodical way, working with your own unique mind and body. So back to the struggle. You've got this upstairs brain soaking up all of the info, and then there's the downstairs brain going, but wait, this feels or will feel really good right now. So it proposes something like a permission-giving thought. So what I'm suggesting is that you shift your mindset and start seeing the struggle as a conversation between your conscious mind and your brain's natural drive for self-preservation. Recognize this back and forth and understand that it's completely normal, just part of being human. And most importantly, get this, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Your downstairs brain might be more wired to seek pleasure from food more than other people, but trust me, other people have similar urges, but maybe just in different areas of life. So instead of fighting this battle, how about we work smarter? Now, let's talk about my 3 ex-stray dogs I adopted in the past year. Truth be told, they adopted me. I never really planned on having dogs, but here I am with 3 furry companions. That's what happens when you're a nature lover in a place with too many strays. Anyway, training these 3 has been quite the struggle. They're all under 3 years old. One's got anxiety, another carries deep trauma, poor guy, from past abuse, and the youngest, well, let's just say he's the Einstein of the group and a bit of a terror. Dogs are incredible teachers when it comes to forming habits. You've probably heard of Pavlov's experiment with dogs. It's a classic example of conditioning. But anyway, as I have mentioned before numerous times, to perform a behavior, you need motivation, want, ability, can, and trigger, cue. And when a behavior happens, there's feedback, either good or bad. So training dogs takes time and consistency, and there are various methods, but they all revolve around these elements. So picture a well-trained dog. She can be a loving companion, full of personality, while still bringing you peace and joy. But an untrained dog, well, let's just say it can be a real headache. I should know. If you haven't already picked up on it, I've decided to look at the downstairs of the brain like a dog and the upstairs of the brain like the dog parent. Just as a dog wants security and it finds security in you, the dog owner, seeking to please you and to protect you, so the downstairs mind seeks security and pleasure for you in self-preservation. If the dog parent wants peace of mind, she has to train the dog, and so she has to take charge. To do so, it helps if she understands the dog and the best training practices. And this is why I think it's so important to grasp at least a basic concept of the differences between the upstairs and downstairs brain if you want to create lasting change. Now, a trained dog expresses its unique personality within set boundaries. And the downstairs mind plays a role in the joy and pleasure of life. So I'm not saying that we should repress its true nature. When it comes to reshaping our eating habits, we want to avoid a strict, controlling approach. And the idea that our approach to food has to be all or nothing is super destructive and is not helpful at all. Instead, let's go back to that little puppy. If you keep kicking it when it's down, it's going to bite back. And that's not a good scene. In fact, it makes me really uncomfortable, and I hope it does the same for you. But how often do you metaphorically kick yourself when you're down? How often do you berate yourself for not being perfect? Trust me, I've been there too. What I'm suggesting is we toss the idea of perfection out the window. Personally, I don't want a living, breathing dog that acts like a statue. Where's the fun in that? P.S. If you're a Gilmore Girls fan, or for those of you that have watched the show, I'm totally picturing the scene when Lorelai first meets Jason's dog. If you haven't watched the show, I'd recommend it. So no, I don't want a sad little robot dog, but I do want one that's well behaved. It's the same when we look at ourselves in our minds. So this framework can help us be a little kinder to ourselves and find joy in the journey of training our minds. So just so you know, I'm not a brain expert, as you can probably tell. My background is biomedical sciences and I have a master's in nutrition, but I get the struggle and I'm all about habits. I've researched this information because I've often wondered what the disconnect is between knowing what to do and actually doing it. Why I and others can stick to healthy habits better than some other people. Are we wired differently, or is there something more to it? Now let me make a distinction between habits and weight. I'm not a weight loss coach because my weight has fluctuated over the years, and that's okay. Weight fluctuations are a completely normal part of life. But here's the thing, I haven't ever gone back to my heaviest weight pre-health issues due to healthy habits that I had developed. But I'll talk about this another time because I think it's crucial to understand that your weight doesn't define you. You're more than your weight, shape, or size. Right now, you are enough as you are, and that's why it's worth the effort to train that mind pet of yours. When you take charge of it, it brings peace and frees up mental energy for other things in your life. But understand that it's not a one and done deal. The conversation will continue for your whole life, or as long as you have a brain, so a sustainable approach is essential. Your downstairs brain just wants to protect, please, and save energy. It might be a handful to manage, but with some discipline, you can take charge by working with it, not against it. And that's what I see as working smarter, not harder, when it comes to managing your eating habits. As an action step for today, I want you to start identifying this conversation between your upstairs brain and your downstairs brain. Better yet, make it a fun game and see if you can identify which one is which. So have some fun with it. And remember, there is so much joy in the journey. So that's a wrap for today. I hope you found this video insightful. Once again, if you have any insights or questions, please feel free to comment below. And if you found this video interesting, a like and a subscription would be greatly appreciated. Apparently, it helps other like-minded individuals discover this channel. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great one.